to the March 6th Community Partner Team. Everybody, happy to have you. Let's see if there we go. There we go. So here's what we're doing today. We're going to do introductions. We have a special guest, and I will get to that in just a moment. She will be discussing re-entry and employment services. The wonderful Brittany Hippler, who has beautiful hair. Not a single one of them are gray either. Question and answer. We want this to be very informal. We want this to be a discussion, not a presentation. So interactive, that's where we really, where we really get the good information. We'll give you a chance to do announcements, anything you have coming up that you want to mention, and then we'll talk about our next meeting. So that is the game plan. And we're going to start our introductions with, you have a choice of 3 things to include in your introduction. You do not have to include all 3 things, but I thought it would be fun to introduce yourself. Everybody has to say your name and employer, of course, and then a favorite snack, a go-to TV show. It can be, one that you've watched a million times, one you're currently watching, or a unique skill that you have. So does everyone understand what we're doing? Name, employer, and then snack, your favorite snack, a show you love, or a unique skill you have. All right. Okay. I will begin. And I have not picked a thing yet, so we'll see what flies out of this mouth. My name's Leslie Whitty. I'm with the South Central Workforce Development Board. I think I know everyone here. If I have not personally had a conversation with you, I am very, very happy that you're here. And I guess I will. I hadn't planned on this, but I just showed Paula a moment ago. I have these here with me. Large bag of Sour Patch Kids. This is probably my number one go-to snack. This is what I sneak into the movie theater every time. In theory, not really. I don't really do that, but if I were to do that, this is what I would pack. Very tasty, very refreshing, very fruity, and I eat so many of them that like the roof of my mouth burns. That is how addicted I am to Sour Patch Kids. Diana, I see you shaking your head. Have you partaken in Sour Patch Kids?
Oh, I have 2 kids, so plenty of
Yes.
Sour Patch Kids in the house. I sometimes partake. Sometimes I don't try not to eat a lot of candy, but when I do, that's always a good one. And I've never snuck anything into a movie yet. So I'll go next if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely.
And I apologize. I have a hard stop at 10 because I just found out about the meeting and I already had but I plan on attending the next one. So apologies to the presenter when you see me hop off. So my name is Dan Bosta. I work for Western Kentucky University in continuing and professional development. And I'm almost at the end of Breaking Bad. I watched that for the second time. And then I guess my favorite all-time show is Seinfeld, but and that dates me a little bit. But
Oh, excellent choices.
yeah, thank
Excellent
you.
choices.
Thank you.
Anybody else a Breaking Bad person? Yes, yes. I
Excellent.
have, I'll just tell you, I have a little bit of a crush on Mike.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, he
I
went to
mean,
I'm an IU alum and he's one of our famous alums there. Jonathan Banks.
yes, yes. And he was in Airplane also. He just had
Oh,
a bit part in Airplane. He's a Renaissance man. Thank you, Dan. Excellent, excellent choices. I applaud all of them. And thank you for giving me prompts on Sour Patch Kids.
all right.
All
Thanks for
right,
having me.
absolutely. I'm gonna throw it over to Miss Paula. And then Paula, you pick somebody after you go. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. There you go. Yes.
So my name is Paula Brooks, and I'm the employment specialist for the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. A mouthful. And my favorite go-to is chocolate, anything chocolate. If I can't find something in the house chocolate, I'll eat chocolate chips out of the freezer if they're frozen, or just I have to. They're good. Try, yeah. So now let's go to Miss Shannon.
Good morning. I'm Shannon Gotke from the South Central Workforce Development Board, and I'm with Dan on both of those shows, but Seinfeld specifically because I think I reference Seinfeld every day of my life, and I know it dates me because people so often will just give me if I come out with a George is getting angry, they just kind of look at me like,
They have no idea.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it amuses you. Okay, I'll
It's
go to
their loss. It's their loss, Shannon.
Oh wow. I mean, Seinfeld, it's a classic.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, I'll throw it to Brittany.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hippler. I work with the Reentry and Employment Services branch, and I'm with Paula on the chocolate, but specifically this time of year, Cadbury eggs are my favorite. And the mini ones,
Oh,
not the filled ones, the mini chocolate ones with the candy shell.
I,
Yeah.
I I like the filled ones. I mean, it is a gross endeavor. You have to really man up to do it.
Yeah.
But man, they're pretty good. They're pretty
Mm,
good.
love them. I will go to Roxana.
Everyone, I'm Roxana Miracle. I'm the regional program manager for Voc Rehab. And there's probably not a snack I don't enjoy, but I'll just say Friends is probably my go-to. I probably watch at least 2 episodes every day of it. So anyway.
And that's one of those good like comfort shows
Yes.
that you just have running in the background. The Office is probably my comfort show that I just have going. Yes, yes, constantly.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Roxana.
All right. How about Frank? You're on mute, Frank.
We can't hear you, Frank.
Okay, I'm Frank Garabano. I'm the one-stop operator at the Kentucky Career Center in Bowling Green. My favorite snack is anything chips, especially kettle chips. I mean, I always have a bag of chips in the house someplace. So, and I would say anything Ken Burns puts out, I'm going to watch and I'm going to save it. I already have all their DVDs, but anything Ken Burns is just so interesting to me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a big documentary person. I mean,
And
they're very interesting.
And I would say for the last number of years, we never miss Survivor. So that's another go-to for us.
Very good. Very good.
Let me throw it to, let's see, Marcy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marcy Yenser. I am the program manager with Volunteers of America. We do homeless veterans. We work with homeless veterans housing, but we also do different types of case management. And one of my employees that's on here as well, I'll let her explain what she does. But my favorite snack is probably chips as well. I grew up on Doritos, and so anything salty and crunchy like that.
Yes.
One of my favorite shows that I have probably watched multiple times is The Last Kingdom. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
No, I haven't.
It's about Vikings. I don't know. I'm just
Mhm.
odd, I guess.
No, I like shows that are in different kinds of settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I feel like it teaches me something outside of just the normal stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
And then my special skill, I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to do roller derby when I lived in England. So
Oh my goodness. How awesome is that? Did you have a roller derby name?
I did.
Can we hear it?
It was Stolen Roll.
Ooh, how amazing. How amazing. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to follow. That's gonna be hard to follow. All right, throw
Um,
throw it over to somebody, Marcy.
I'll give it to my one of my employees, Starla. She's on here.
All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is Starla Parsons, and I am with Volunteers of America as well. I am the income maximization and self-sufficiency case manager here. So I work with trying to help veterans increase their income and become self-sufficient for the time when they are ready to exit our program. So my favorite snack again is going to be chips. Actually, Cheetos is my favorite, whether it's regular Cheetos, spicy Cheetos, or even cheese puffs. My favorite show, I have watched it multiple times, is Supernatural. I
Oh
like
yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that kind of genre. I think it's a good show. My skill, I played 18 years of softball, so
Wow. You all have some mad skills over there. Absolutely. Well, thank you. Very good. And if you can throw it over to somebody and y'all don't feel obligated to do all three, you can go with one. It's whatever your preference is. So Starla, if you would throw it over to somebody that hasn't gone yet.
let's throw it over to Laura.
That's me,
All right.
Laura Torres with the South Central Workforce Development Board. And I work with Kentucky youth, 16 to 24 years old, in putting them to work, and also assist a new American navigator with um, navigating the system for new Americans. My favorite snack is candy. So anything candy, I can do the Sour Patch Kids, the Sour Patch watermelons, the strawberries. I can do
Yes.
M&Ms, Reese's, mounds with the almond and the coconut. So yeah, really any type of candy, any type of
Very,
chip.
very, very impressive candy vocabulary, Laura. Very impressive. Very impressive. All right. If you can throw it over to somebody.
All right, well, I have one
Um,
candy, I'll just say, sorry.
Oh,
So
yes.
I grew up in New York and one of the best baseball players was Reggie Jackson. And they made a Reggie bar. And
Yes.
I was in Florida recently and there was like a vintage candy shop and they had the Reggie bar there. So I bought like six of them and I gave them to my kids. They weren't impressed, but I saved one for to show some of my friends from childhood. So,
Yes. I remember the Reggie bars. I
yep, they
remember
still make
those.
them.
Yeah, those were, I didn't know they still made them.
They do. Yeah, I had no idea either. Okay,
Well, that's
I
very
digress.
cool. Very
well, talking
cool.
about baseball, do you all remember the shredded gum that came in those pouches?
Oh,
Big
Big League
League
Chew, yeah.
Chew.
I
Yeah,
would
Big League
stuff my
Chew.
face with that.
So good.
Yes. Yes. Starla, did you ever use the Big League Chew when you were playing softball? I bet you did.
All the time when I was a
Yeah.
kid. Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
The big
The fir-
wad would be stuck and one side of the mouth would be like out there. Like yes, we did.
yes.
So funny.
Yes.
Well, I'll throw it over
Absolutely.
to Amy Settles. Amy Settles. Come on down, Amy Settles.
Hey, my name is
Hey,
Amy
Amy.
Settles. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm with Career Team. I'm the program coordinator over here. And my show that I'm kind of obsessed with right now is Paradise on Hulu. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. And then my snack right now is never really been a candy person, but I tried the gummy clusters and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm hooked. The gummy clusters
Yes.
are
Yes.
the bomb. So that's my
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. A good combo of squishy and crunchy.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I approve. All right. Who we got left, Amy?
Uh, uh, who's still on here? Tony Palmer. That's who I'm kicking it to.
All
I
right.
knew that already. I was already ready.
It's like, where my
I
people
was
at?
already ready. Okay, I'm Tony Palmer. I work with the career team. I'm the South Central Navigator. Um, my favorite snack right now is the Reese's Animal Crackers. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, they're kind of a new addiction that I have that I need to stay away from.
that
But
sounds like something I need to investigate, Tony.
you can really only get them at Sam's Club and in a big bag, and that's not good for you because they're like in a great big bag, and you're like, oh. But no, they
Yeah,
are pretty
it
good.
makes it
But I
seem like you're eating less if it's from a big bag. You're like,
no,
oh,
but
I haven't
I
eaten that
like
much.
crackers. I'm a crackers person. I like crackers and like that type of snack. Not really big on super sweet all the time, but these are like the sweet, salty, all of it together.
Very
Um,
good.
when it comes to shows, I'm all that CSI drama stuff, like all that crazy stuff.
Hmm.
Um, unique skill. I don't even know what any of my unique skills is, I guess, to
Well,
be honest.
you've got plenty. You've got
Yeah,
lots. You've got
I do.
lots.
I went to school for orthotics and prosthetics. Not a lot of people
Well,
do that,
hey,
so that's different. I mean,
yeah,
so that'll probably be
absolutely.
my unique one. Yeah.
All right. Well, who has not gone yet? And again, you just do one thing because I want to get us into Brittany's time.
Okay. Has Shannon went yet?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know who's left.
Denise has not gone yet.
Okay. Let's send it over to Denise.
All right.
Good morning. My name is Denise McDonald, and I work for Logan County Good Samaritan. And we are basically a food bank and assistance organization. We try to refer people to other places depending on what their needs are. Unfortunately, I'm addicted to large mocha frappes with extra shots of espresso. And my unique skill is I do my own nails.
Oh, yes, and they're always quite lovely, if I
Thank you.
might add. All right, Denise, if you could throw it to somebody who has not gone yet. Who has not gone yet?
I'll go. Priscilla Schwartz with Passport by Molina Healthcare. And my favorite TV show is Leave It to Beaver. Go to sleep to that every single night. So
Oh,
I will shoot it over. I don't think Bill has went.
No, I didn't go yet. My name is Bill Sandell. I'm with the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services. Let's see, fa my favorite show probably, I guess, would be the IT Crowd. It is hilarious. It's a British comedy with it's about an
ooh.
IT department. It's ridiculous, it's absurd, and it's hilarious.
Oh,
Um,
that sounds interesting. I'll have to check it out.
yeah, and then snack, let's see, tortilla chips and salsa. I love it. Um, and then unique skill, I know how to bookbind. So
Oh, wow. Very
so
good. Very
both
good.
making new books and repairing old books, I kind of know how to do it. So
All right. And let's see, I don't know if there's anybody else able to join us. Adam, are you able to talk or are you just listening?
Yeah. No, I'm here. I've just got a lot going on behind me in my office, so I didn't want everyone to have to see that today. So Adam Canada over at the International Center. I have a lot of favorite shows, but one that I really love and I'm excited to come back for a third season is I'm a really big Anne Rice fan. I've been a really big Anne Rice fan since I was in middle school reading books. And Interview with the Vampire, they made a series of it. And
Mm-hmm.
they have it taking place in the 1930s at the beginning instead of back in colonial times, and they put a really interesting spin on it. And it's been one of my favorite shows.
Ooh.
So if
Again,
you're a
y'all
vampire
are helping
fan,
me
it's on
out. Y'all are
Netflix.
helping me out. Yeah, with shows. All right. We've got Brian. Brian, are you able to say just one thing? A
Hey, good
snack, a
morning. Yep.
TV show, or a unique skill?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Good morning. Brian Becker with the South Central Workforce Development Board, and I think Terry Bowen would be next. I will say that I didn't know that I was training my whole life for this skill, but I have an impeccable ability to embarrass my 14-year-old daughter wherever we go. So there you go. There's my skill.
Yes. 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 Nice. Nice. And who, Terry?
Yes, I think he called me out. So
Yes.
I'll go ahead
Okay.
and get you too. I'm working remotely today, so I'm not going to turn on my camera either. But let's see, I'm the job placement specialist for vocational rehabilitation here in Bowling Green. Um, gosh, snacks. This is all my language. So I'm any kind of snack mix, anything with popcorn, love dark chocolate, pretzels, ginger candy, shows. I love throwbacks like reruns for Weeds, The Affair, Gilmore Girls. Also addicted to couples therapy on Showtime. Really good show. And I guess my special skill would be making candles and bath products.
Wow. Well, we've got a lot of talented individuals here with us. Very good. All right. Is there anyone who hasn't gone? I just want to make sure everybody, John, are you able to just give us one, like either a snack, a show, or a unique skill? And he may not be able to talk. If not, that's okay. Because I feel like, that introductions, yes, that took a little bit of time, but I feel like those are very important. It really sets the tone for the rest of the meeting, and you feel like you're having a conversation with colleagues rather than sitting closed off and disconnected. So thank you all for doing that, for participating. I've learned some things, and I've got some new shows to go to. I'm going to skip this second slide. It was sort of a discussion thing, but just for time's sake, I'm going to go to our special guest. Our special guest. Can you all see the whole thing, or can you see like yourselves as well? Can you just see the slide? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Our special guest, and Brittany, feel free to also introduce your colleague at some point. But our special guest is the amazing, and I am not using that word lightly, the amazing Brittany Hippler. Her official title is Reentry and Employment Services Branch Navigator. She is a human ball of energy. She is delightful. She works her tail off, and she is doing amazing things. And I'm so excited that she is here with us to talk more about what she does as far as in reentry and employment. So, Brittany, for someone who doesn't know, tell us about the Reentry and Employment Services branch. Like what just an overview.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Leslie, you're amazing as well. So for Reentry and Employment Services, basically what we do is I'm the South Central Navigator. So I connect people to your local state and regional partners to help them with employment, education, barrier relief, identification services, things of that nature. Mostly, we can help any Kentuckian, but our usual demographic is going to be your reentry population, either coming out of jail, addiction recovery, things of that nature are typically the population that the Reentry Employment Services branch deals with.
And this is a fairly new branch.
Yes.
So it just came about like what, in the last,
I think 2 years.
2 years is what I was going to say. So and you go all over the region.
Yes, I cover the Brad counties, so Allen, Barron, Butler, Edmondson, Hart, Logan, Metcalfe, Monroe, Simpson, and Warren.
Yes. And one of the things that Brittany does on a regular rotation, she does something called targeted services orientation. And those are at designated areas, usually adult eds in different counties. And I know Shannon's been on some of those, Laura's been on some of those, and several of you all may have attended those as well. What exactly are those?
Yeah, so the targeted services orientations are more of like a one-on-one. So I have those local or state partners there. So we have Office of Vocational Rehab, we have Adult Ed, we have Career Development, and myself. And we're all just there to kind of explain what we do and how we can help them. And then we get each person to sit down with each one of us, and that way we can kind of provide those services. I like to have them leave with a resume. Oh, Shannon comes as well to all of mine. So we love Shannon. I hate that the other counties don't have a Shannon. But so I like for everybody to leave with a resume, and then I typically try to apply for a couple jobs while we're there so that they have that under their belt. If they need IDs, we kind of get them scheduled for the ID service. But it's just more like a one-on-one, hands-on thing that I do every day anyway. But at the targeted orientation, they can really sit down with us and get that taken care of. Because a lot of people aren't tech savvy, computer savvy, even phone savvy. So they want to kind of be in person and figure things out.
Right. And if somebody doesn't really know where to start, you know, they might be more inclined to attend something like that than, you know, where they think, okay, this is going to be for a group of people.
Right.
Rather than scheduling a one-on-one appointment. Now, Shannon, I know that you attend these regularly. What do you see when you're watching Brittany interacting with people? What do you see just from I guess, an observer's perspective?
I see that she connects with them extremely well. She's very non-judgmental. They open up to her. She gets all the pertinent information without making them feel ill at ease. And she's really good at connecting the dots.
Good.
Where they are to where they need to be and all points in between. Very good at it.
Very good. Very good. Brittany, how did you wind up in this job role? What led you to this job role?
So I went to school. I got my master's in sociology. Started thinking I wanted to help children and worked at Rivendell and realized, no, you don't. I was actually telling Sarah, who's our Western Kentucky, yesterday that if I would have continued on that path, I would have had a basement full of kids or dead parents. One, I don't know, because the system's so messed up. But then I went into higher education, and when I got into higher education, I just noticed that a lot of people that were coming out of jail or substance use disorder, really wanted to kind of better themselves and need education to do so. So I got involved with that and transitioned to the SITE program to actually help them with barrier relief, and then got into this program, which helps with the barrier relief and connecting the dots for them so that they are able to kind of start the process to change their life so they don't have to go back.
Right. And so it sort of feels like this you were led to this kind of role, you know, and those kinds of things are incredible when you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So what you talked about barriers, what are some of the most common barriers that someone, say, coming out of a correctional facility, or someone who, you know, has just left a substance abuse recovery facility, what are common barriers that they face? Maybe things that we wouldn't think of.
So, well, the obvious ones are transportation, but we'll start with IDs because not a lot of people realize that. I don't even think when they're in there they realize how important having an ID is. And when you don't have a driver's license or identification card, you have to have a social and a birth certificate. If you don't have a birth certificate, you have to have an ID to prove that you are who you are. So it's just very difficult to navigate the process to get all of those. So I've really started in my pre-release classes trying to get those started while they're in jail. But if not, because you can't do anything without an ID. Right. So that's kind of the first barrier that we have to kind of relieve and get that taken care of. Transportation is also huge because if they can't get to these meetings and they can't get to job interviews and they can't get to the job, how are they supposed to work? Housing is another one that honestly I can't really help with as much as I'd like. It's very difficult. I don't see a lot of the childcare. I know it's a barrier, but I don't see a lot of it on my side of things. Typically, they're able to either find childcare or something, but I don't have a lot of my people tell me that childcare is an issue, even though I know it is. I know it's an issue. So those are kind of my top three, and then also one of the big ones is just getting employers to hire somebody with a background. being able to find the employer that's actually going to give somebody a chance and allow them to be able to do what they need to change their life. So that's kind
What,
of
so,
fun.
and that, I think that's an excellent point. And anyone in the crowd, if you have a question, feel free to jump in. So employers, I mean, what are some of the most common either misconceptions or hesitations on the employer side? You
Um,
know,
a lot of it's insurance. So a lot of it with their insurance and stuff won't cover that employee because if they have a felony background, they could lose a lot of money. For example, drugs. If you're operating equipment and you are on drugs when you do it, the insurance kind of messes up, so the employer has to pay more. So that's a lot of it. And then any kind of violent crime, it's very hard to find someone a job. So I think that's kind of I think employers are scared to take those chances because they don't want to get the kickbacks. And, as we all know, it's happened. Some one bad thing can go wrong, and that messes
Yeah.
it up for everybody. So
Yes.
it's just been kind of difficult to navigate through that with employers to be able to give somebody a chance. When I go and talk to employers, I like to tell them about my drug court people because they are on the program and they do get tested and they do have to see the judge, weekly, monthly, whatever. And so even if they do have that background, they are being monitored. So it's it's a safer situation because you know that somebody else is monitoring them as well as what's going on at the employer site.
Right.
Uh,
Right. So you have backup
yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
And there's accountability and consequences. So I would say, that would be an attractive aspect
Yes.
of it. Absolutely. So as far as I know you work with lots of individuals and not giving names. Can you share a couple success stories, ones that like have really stuck with you?
Yeah, I've got one actually that I got the news yesterday. But he is one of Logan County. He came to the Target Service Orientation. He had this grand story about how he had been in the moonshine business for 35 years.
Oh my
And
goodness, that's
um,
fascinating.
and it's true. The jailer actually and I talked about him yesterday. And the jailer had actually busted him for that, so it is true. And I told him that he should have joined the Moonshiner show and he would have been famous. But he got busted for drugs and got sent to drug court. And he said you can't really moonshine in drug court. So we got him, thanks to Tony Palmer at Career Team, shout out, in the involved with the CDL, and he just got his license yesterday. So he has a job
Oh my
ready.
goodness.
He has a job ready and he is ready to go. Somebody joked yesterday and said, is he going to sell moonshine on the road? I don't think you can do that. I think moonshine has to be like underground or something. I don't know. My husband watches the show. But I am
Brittany,
so
Brittany,
proud.
can I
Yeah.
throw one thing in about him? One thing that I found so funny about his story when we met him was that one of the reasons that he had been in jail was that when he got busted for the moonshine, they came and took all of his still and all of his equipment, and he did not think that that was fair, so he just got a trailer and went and stole it right back from impound. He was good. I loved his story.
He's, listen, he's good. He's phenomenal, but I'm so proud of him and he's already got a job lined up. I mean, he went while he was doing the classes, talking to employers around and he's ready. He's ready to go. So,
That is incredible.
yeah, I'm
That
very,
is
very proud of him.
incredible. Man.
He was a good one. He was fun and it was just he's great. And then I have watched quite a few graduations at drug court and I had this one kid and we just never thought he was going to graduate. He was in Barron County and he was just kind of lazy. And he got a job at McDonald's and was supposed to graduate in drug court in 2 months and then just decided to no call, no show. So extended his drug court stay 6 months, but he finally graduated last month. And so He's moving back to Tompkinsville, and we're going to help him there, but he finally was able to graduate. So those kind of stories are great. And then I had a mom in Barron County Drug Court, and she brought her baby every time, and Judge A is fantastic. He would hold the baby while he was doing drug court, but she graduated. So within brought her baby, and we were able to see that. So I mean, it's just those kind of things are just the reason why you do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to open it up to the crowd. What would you like to know more about, or what would you like to ask Brittany about? What have we not talked about that you think would be interesting? Everybody's gone incognito
I
mode.
have a question. How do you all navigate the identification or the ID driver's license situation with so many of the o- offices either closed or have, far out dates to make an appointment? Do you all just show up and wait in line with the person to get their ID? And what about the real ID that's required now? How do you all navigate that?
Excellent question, Laura Torres.
I have an amazing person at the DMV, and what I do is I get the person's name and birthday, and I email her. She tells me what all they need so that we can get all that together before they go. And then when they go, they can walk up and let them know that they're there with reentry, and she will get them right in. They don't have to wait. The real
Wow.
ID, yeah. I will-
Okay, I need that connect. Jeez.
Yes. Yes,
That connected to
Tony, I
me.
was thinking the same thing.
You can email me. But yeah, so but birth certificates are tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're very hard. Socials are tough. And social just made a rule where you can't walk in anymore. You have to have an appointment. So navigating the social security card has gotten really difficult. But luckily, my friend in Western Kentucky, I think we've got a way that we can do it. It's just gonna take a little bit. But birth certificates, if they're Kentucky, golden. If they're any other state, we just kind of have to wait. And unfortunately, Laura, you are correct. They do have to get to the Bowling Green DMV, which sucks.
It does.
Yes, and I'm really there's a law that's supposed to be passing or going through to see if they can get them back into the county courthouses, which I really hope it passes.
It would be great. I know we send a lot of our participants to Columbia
Yes, because
because it's so much quicker and they don't
Yep.
have to wait.
Yep.
And apparently they're much nicer too. So I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, Columbia, I when I do like Hart County or Metcalf, they all go to Columbia.
I've seen that. I've seen that on social media as well. That people. So I don't understand how different you would think all offices would operate sort of with the same kind of standards, or plan or whatever. But yes, excellent question, because that is, I mean, it's something that we all take for granted, like, oh, my driver's license. But I mean, goodness, it's that my driver's license has been a part of me since I was 16.
Yep.
So it's like you don't even think about it. But people who don't have that starting point, that's a huge barrier. I mean, a huge barrier. So what leads to them not having one?
A lot of times they lose it. So it's just a replacement. I've also had, listen, I've had people that were 40 that had never had it. Didn't want to get it, didn't care. How they did it, I don't know. So I mean, it really is just kind of like there's a ton of reasons why, but most of them is just like if they've moved from a different state and they lost their identification over there, then they have to get a Kentucky ID and go through the whole process here.
I got you.
Some of
So
them are
different.
suspended, expired, that kind of thing.
Mhm. Well, yeah, and you don't think about not having the physical thing, like, because I think we live in such a digital age now, you don't think about, oh, I have to have this physical object. Like, car insurance. I just have it on my phone.
Me too.
So if I ever get pulled over, which I don't because I'm an excellent driver, I pull it up on my phone. All right. Very good. Any other questions? Any other questions for Brittany? I mean, she is a very very busy lady
I do
going
have
all
a
over.
question.
Hey, Denise.
Yes.
I have, and I'm not really sure, I think she stopped by my office, but I have the name of a lady, a Hannah Keffer. Do
Yep.
you know her?
Yep.
Or
Probation and parole director.
all right, she was saying something about they have rides to work for those on active probation and parole.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how that works?
You have to
Or
you have to call them within 72 hours, and it cannot be 71 hours and 59 minutes, or they won't do it. It has to be 72 hours exactly, or more, and they schedule it for them, and they can do rides. They can do interviews. They can do probation and parole. I think they do the first 2 weeks of work if they get a job. But yeah, it's through probation and parole.
Do you have the contact information? Can you put that in the chat?
yes.
That would be fantastic, because that would be an incredible resource for people.
It is.
All right.
It is, and they don't advertise it, but they do it. So.
Well, that seems sort of odd, not not letting people know. All right, any other questions for Brittany? Brittany,
What is the average time? I have another question.
Yes.
All right, Laura.
What is the average time that you spend with an individual from release up until either a successful employment, housing situation, or whatever their barrier was? Like, what's your time frame, if there is any, or what has been your average time frame?
Well, let's see. Do you mean how often do I talk to them, or because I mean it varies.
Well, I guess self-sufficiency, I guess, where somebody was released, they now have a job, they now have a home, and they're on their way to become self-sufficient.
Typically, when we first get started, it's more hands-on and in the process. So I'm meeting with them a lot, talking to them usually weekly, bi-weekly. But I would say probably around the 6-month mark is about when they start really getting like everything situated, and they're making money, and they're able to pay their fines, and they're able to pay rent and get all that. So I'd say about 6 months. That first 3 months is really just getting back on their feet. So there's a lot of things that from the past they have to take care of. But about 6 months is like when they're really stabilized. And then we kind of start the process of, and that's when I utilize a lot of like Tony's fantastic, but training programs to get them maybe even that better job.
Very good. Very good. And I think, we can't stress enough that what you're doing is just helping guide people toward being more, toward being independent, toward being, just like Laura said, self-sufficient.
Right. Learning to live.
Yes. And 6 months, in some ways it sounds like, oh, that's a long time. But think about the dramatic change from this person was in a correctional facility, and 6 months later they are self-sufficient, and like your person that you gave the success story about, the CDL license. My goodness, you have changed that person's life. I mean, that is miraculous. And the fact that you do that often, you have repeat stories. My goodness. I mean, it's incredible work. I mean, it really is. I think you're doing fantastic things.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And he was about 6 months. He came in October, and here it is March. So he was a good estimate of what that is for somebody that actually wants it. That's the difference. If you guys all know, not your ones that aren't really trying, those can take years.
Yes.
That was what I was going to say, and add to what she was saying. Like, it's different when they want it for themselves as bad as you want it for them.
Yep.
But you can't want it for them more than they do.
Yep. John just said that, Tony. Yep.
Man, it's so hard. It's like, I want to help you as much as I possibly can, but you've got to put in footwork too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really tough.
Yes. Once somebody has flipped that switch, to I'm doing this, then, then absolutely. But that has to happen. They can get really close to success, but it's not going to last if that mental shift hasn't taken place.
Right. Right.
100%. All right, Brittany, would you do us the honor of introducing your colleague that you have
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah, this is Sarah.
Hello, everyone.
She's
Hello,
gonna be
Sarah.
the new me in Western Kentucky, so I'm very excited. She's gonna take over the operations there for like the Muhlenberg County and all of those areas.
Very good. Well, we are happy to have you. It's an honor to meet you again. What the Reentry and Employment Services branch is doing is fantastic, and I just can't sing praises loud enough. I just can't do it.
I'm
All right.
excited to get
Very
going.
good.
It's going to be good.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, Brittany, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for your information. You are delightful. You are, again, doing incredible work. And I'm just honored to know you.
Thank
You're doing
you.
good stuff.
You too.
Doing
Leslie.
good stuff. All right, let's see. Let's see where we are. I've got to make my screen. Laura, you got something else?
Yes, I have another question for Brittany.
All right. Okay, last one. Last one.
So we know that there's barriers across for reentry, but what is one major barrier for a female and one major barrier for a male? Are they the same or are they different?
I'm gonna say, in general, I would just say transportation is gonna be your biggest barrier because if you can't get there, you can't get there. But specifically for male barriers is going to be the stigma of therapy and getting the help that you need. So a lot of them just think they can white knuckle it and they don't ever go get what they need. And without the mental health therapy and getting that together, you're never going to really be able to be successful. So that would be my biggest one for males. It's really funny when we do the pre-release classes in the jails and we ask how many people have been seen a therapist, almost all of the women raise their hand and maybe one of the men raise their hand. So I just think for them, that's a huge barrier for the stigma. And then for females, I really don't know. I would just say your normal transportation, possibly childcare for them, would be the barrier because they are the ones that are supposed to be able to take care of the children,
Very good question, Laura Torres. I think
awesome.
I think you need to get hired with 60 Minutes. You're an excellent correspondent. All right. Well, thank you again, Brittany. We're going to move on to, we've got a couple big things coming up. We've got a face-to-face job fair, and a lot of the ideas that we discussed in the February community partner team meeting about trying to make job fairs, trying to get them to be more impactful and see people interviewed and hired on the spot. That's what we're trying to do with this regional hiring event. If you see this on social media, I can email out or have Frank email out flyers. We would appreciate sharing this because the issue right now is getting employers. We thought we would have just an onslaught of employers signing up, and we have, I believe, 4 right now. So sharing this, if you know businesses that are hiring, let them know, this is a different kind of event. Hopefully it will get them some immediate results. And in addition, in April, we have our second Ready, Set, Hire event. That is for area high school seniors. And then the latter part of the afternoon, we will open that up to the public as well. That's going to be at the Cave Area Conference Center, formerly known as the Cave City Convention Center. It's a very hard habit to break, calling that by a different name. I grew up saying Cave City Convention Center for years, but that is April 22nd. So any shares of those events would be greatly appreciated. I'll send a PDF of each flyer to Frank so he can share with the group. What do you all have? Anything going on with you that you would like to share? Events, programs, something you need help with? This is the absolute best time to ask because you have a room full of people a room full
Leslie,
of resources.
we have an expungement fair coming up here at the One Stop on April the 22nd. I've sent that flyer out several times, but if you know anybody that needs expungement services, tell them just to stop by to register. And DOC and Kentucky Legal Aid will be here that afternoon from 4 to 6, April 22nd.
Excellent, excellent. And that's the same day as the Ready Set Hire event. So we got two biggies that day. Anybody else? If you have an event or program, anything that you would like to share with the class?
We're currently in the middle of the VITA tax program right now. So if you have clients who need free tax preparation, we are doing that. They do not have to be in Logan County. It can be from any county. We have a lot of information available on our website about how to get it, but basically there are packets on the front porch that someone can pick up and fill out with instructions and a phone number for them to call and make an appointment.
And that's an amazing service. How long have you all been doing that, Denise?
I believe this is our 17th year.
Wow. Wow. How many taxes do you think you've done in that time frame? I mean, you know, the Good Samaritan,
Total?
not you personally.
Total, I'm not really sure, but we're up to doing about 400 a year, so that's pretty good.
Goodness, that's amazing. Did you guys just hear that? Let's give Denise a round of applause. Free taxes, 400 people a year. That is incredible. As someone who just the idea of doing taxes terrifies me. I'm like, you know, give it to somebody who knows what they're doing because that person ain't me, you know. Absolutely. All right. I don't want to belabor the point, but any other events, opportunities, anything you want to mention?
Yes, for my program, the Kentucky Youth for ages 16 to 24, for Shannon and myself, we work with youth that is either out of school, in school, does not have a job at the moment, is not currently employed. We will assist them with the resume building, job coaching, interview skills, and helping them apply online for employment. We are looking at high school seniors right now with all of the job fairs, hiring fair, career fairs that are going on. And we have a great incentive that we are providing for students that we're able to get, or youth that we are able to place in employment, and they keep that employment for at least 90 days. There is a monetary incentive. If you would like to know more or would like to refer someone to us, Shannon, myself, send us an email and we will connect with that youth and get them enrolled. So please, 16 to 24-year-olds that are unemployed, or high school seniors that are about to graduate and are looking to get into the workforce. So that's my plug for the 16 to 24-year-olds.
Yes, yes. And that actually too is on our website. If you go to southcentralworkforce.com, there is a tab. The Career Coach on Call, the name, we loved that so much. We retained that because Shannon's still doing that. Shannon is still a career coach on call. Her target audience is now 16 to 24-year-olds. But if you go to our website and click Career Coach on Call and it says new, that's where you send people. You know, that form will go to Shannon and she can help connect. And just as you said, Laura, email works as well. All right.
I do have one quick question. So sorry.
Yes, no, that's
I'm
what
sorry
we're
I got
here
my
for.
camera turned off. I had some other things going on in here in the office. So anybody have any suggestions? We do with working with our homeless veterans. We have quite a few who have have been in prison or have, criminal backgrounds. It's making it hard for them to find jobs. And as someone who's trying to help them increase their income, I'm trying to find ways to know where to send them.
All right, Brittany, you got
Roberta Bradley at the Career Center.
Okay. Yeah, I know she's been working with them too. I just didn't know if there was any other place that I could just, that was other than her and I, if y'all knew anybody else. Yeah, Roberta's she works with a lot of my clients. So
Yeah, I can, I don't really have a list. It's really hard to get a list of employers, because they change so frequently.
Gotcha.
But I'll send you, you put your email in here or your.
Nope, but I can.
Okay, drop that in the chat and I'll get you kind of like my ones that I used frequently.
Hey, Brittany, what about Chris York with Goodwill? Does he help with the veteran side of it, or does he just help with the homeless side of it?
He does more of the homeless.
Yeah, he works with us with trying to get them housed. Yeah.
Does he? Okay.
But Tony, good point, because Goodwill would be another place to send them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't even think about that. We work with Chris on the housing side, the ones that need housing, and I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
Opportunity Center would be great.
Absolutely. And I mean, just the concept of, whether he can help or can't help, a lot of times it's just starting that conversation. He may know of a resource, so this is wonderful. This is this meeting every month. This is a very important part of it. It's connecting with people who are resources, who you can be a resource to other people. That's a huge part of this. The learning about other entities is huge, and connecting is just as important. So there's a lot of value to this. I appreciate everyone's participation. All right, coming next month, I am having a surgery on March 19th. It hopefully will not be a super big deal, but I do not have anything lined up. If you are interested in being like the focus person, I am open to suggestions. I think I'll be able to run the show. I may have, if Laura Torres is available as backup in case I'm on the DL, that might work. But if anyone is interested in having what you do be like the primary focus, I'm all for it. But I like taking the weight of the presentation off people so you can really just have conversations. And do you all like this format? Okay, good. All right. Well, nobody is chomping at the bit. So that is to be determined. But yes, we will regardless have our meeting next month online. And once that gets set, I will let you guys know. All right. So right now, if you're not following us on social media, please do. As I mentioned, the flyers will be coming your way. If you can share those, that would be very much appreciated. But thank you all. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, 1029. Oh my gosh. How perfect is this? But thank you all for taking a little bit of your day and spending it with this meeting. I think they're very important. I love seeing your faces, even though I'm primarily working remotely. It's wonderful to see your faces and to interact with you. It always is very uplifting for me personally. And every single person who's in on this meeting, what you're doing is changing lives. I mentioned that to Brittany earlier. We're all doing that. And, you know, it's really good work. A lot of times, it sort of goes under the radar. But I just personally want to thank everybody because I know what you're doing is important. So, thank everybody for joining us today, and we will see you in April.